Is it already playing?
Yes, it's playing.
Oh, good. Hey, let's be ourselves now.
Okay, yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3. Let's do it. Ta-da, yeah. Hey guys, it's Rob and Jan from Rob and Jan Can.
Van.
Yeah. So anyway,
Got one word?
yeah, you got one word in. Okay. So much for the extras.
Rob and Jan Can Van. We're starting a YouTube channel. We decided on that name because Rob and Jan are our names, and we can van, but it's also short for Rob and Jan Canada Van Life because we're in beautiful Canada. That's where we live, and right now we're at Wasaga Beach doing our van tour. We purchased the van last November. It's a 2020 Promaster 3500 159-inch wheelbase, not extended. We got it with only a few extras, the leather steering wheel and the 2 swivel seats. We got to have them do stock because it was easier to have them do it that way. The seat belts are incorporated in the seats. And so we got it last November. Didn't receive it till July though, due to COVID being in play. We got it quite a bit later than anticipated. So Rob was out west building it for a few months. We've been traveling in it for the last month, but it was minus 32 out west where we were, so waited till now to do our van tour, and hope you enjoy. You got anything else to say, mister?
I forget where you were. Anyway, okay, we'll show you the inside here.
So first things first, the most important thing for vertically challenged people like me is having a running board. So my hubby put in this wonderful running board. He cut off the length a little bit, as well as made it a little higher than it was supposed to be, just so that it's not too low, going over any kind of terrain, as well as to have a nice sleek look. So, and the nice thing too, we're on sand, so I can wipe off my feet a little to come in. Here I have a little toggle. It's actually a dog toy, but it works perfectly to be able to get up. This is our headliner up here. We use this area to store blankets and towels and jackets and things like that. Now the concern always is, where do you put the curtains? Do you have a curtain rod? Do you have something that's messy? I had this idea that my husband said at first it'd be too difficult to do, but he managed to work around it and get it to come to fruition. So this here is light plastic. It was difficult to attach anything to it. So what we designed is, this is an aluminum here. He painted it with rock guard and put these hooks on it here. So first of all, they work great for in the daytime to hang a towel, to hang a jacket, anything like that. But then also they are perfectly aligned to work with our curtains. So that these tabs here line right up. So when you want to put up the curtains at night, they just hook on like this. So you can have them go across the entire area, giving you thermal, blackout, warmth, privacy. They work great. So we really, really like these, and it seems to have been a really good idea in terms of usability throughout the daytime, and you're able to not have any curtains hanging here, because in a lot of cases people have a curtain rod, it pulls back, and the curtains are always stuck here. So this gives us more freedom in the van for our swivel seats to get more use out of them. We've got a nice little spot here. Still to be determined the little what we're going to use for a lift. We had one option we didn't like, so we're in the middle of changing them out. But it's a great spot in here to put games and odds and ends and books and such like that. And then we have our couch here. The couch is designed to have the proper outdoor sunbrella style cushions, because that way we figure if we need to change them out, We can just do that at any time with any other cushions if they get dirty or yucky, and be able to switch out to other ones. So that's what we're looking at for this. The floor is a nice, what kind of floor is that, Rob? A vinyl?
Smart drop.
Smart drop. These open up here. The only thing is we bought this nice cushiony mat. We have to get it out of the way in order to get into these, but these drawers here are great. That holds all of our shoes, and they've been rhino guarded so that then if any moisture comes off the boots or anything like that, there's no moisture coming down into the wood, and they just lock into place like that. Okay, now we're going to move to the kitchen side of things. We love this. My husband made a lovely waterfall edge countertop. This took him a lot of time to build this. So this is a dimmable light switch, and we ended up putting the sink in here with the, it's a black 15 by 15 or 14 by 14 inch sink, and it works perfectly. We've got the little cutting board on top. We have a water system here. This tap comes around, and this is has a filtration system in it. So this water here is filtered for drinking, and this is just regular water coming from the back tank. My husband will go into more details about the plumbing after. So that works really great. Over here we have an area with our part of our pantry area that includes a shelf under here. We've got 2 baskets, one that we can put vegetables and fruits and such in, and then another one for all of our spices. So this works out perfectly to have all of our spices under here in a little basket. And then we've got something we think is really unique and is one of our favorite items in the van. So this is something here we haven't seen anyone else do. It's a utility cabinet that you can buy from Lowe's or Home Depot or anywhere of those places. Basically how it works is we've got our induction top in the top and some other storage areas here. We've got ample space to have all of our cutlery and utensils in all of these drawers, dishes, everything, as well as our cutting boards and a whole utility kind of section here. And then at the bottom are our pots and pans. So lots and lots of space. It works out great because it stays in place. You lock it up and then you can drive away. There's no concern with any of the drawers, anything opening up. That didn't have to build it, just had to get it to be put into place here and to put in the tabs. So it worked out really, really nicely to put the knobs on there. And then we have a kitchen cabinet under here. And this is the same as on the other side. We've got the garbage in here as well as the gray water tank. This is our coffee and tea kettle in here. And this is our coffee and tea cupboard. So it works perfectly. This is my husband's favorite part. All of the cupboards in here actually light up. There's lighting all the way along here in our wardrobe area as well as the kitchen area. So this holds all of our coffee utensils, our coffee cups, everything we need to make coffee and tea. Works perfectly in there. And then next to that is our cupboards. So I have this section here. This is all of my clothing. I have a little bit in here in terms of pants, but for the most part, all of my, everything I need goes in there. Underwear, pants, tops, everything. And my husband has the end one here. Love this undermount lighting here as well. It works perfectly in terms of giving us everything we need for lighting. We managed to put in something that I didn't think was going to happen. So this is a closet in here. So it's not very wide, but it's shocking how much space it actually can use. So in here we've got it. I've got a little mirror up here as well. We'll see from the other angle a little better. But it does have quite a bit of space for clothes and hanging in here, a little basket space at the bottom. Underneath here we each have a couple of baskets each. They go back quite deep with all of our toiletries. So we're able to have all of our toiletries. We have each 2 sections like this to put all of our toiletries, vitamins, such like that. Lots of space in there. And then below there is our diesel heater. Here's our fridge. The fridge was designed, we see so many people that get the little fridges and they have them right on the floor, which we're not getting any younger. The idea of having to kneel down on the floor or bend over to try and reach to get items out wasn't something we wanted to deal with. So we decided to install it up in this area. We've got a 3.8 liter fridge, I believe it is, Rob? 3.8 liter?
Yeah, something like that.
Dometic. It holds a ton of food. So I don't know if Rob wants to come around to kind of give you an idea of what's in here, but it will hold a lot of food and tequila. You have to have tequila. We've got a huge amount of food in here, and there's still lots of space left. A small freezer in here, but it's enough to put in some vegetables and berries. No ice cream, not important to us. Everyone always wants freezers for ice cream, but we're okay with not having ice cream. So that's our fridge, closet area here. This is a drawer that was specially designed for our Instapot. So it's a nice deep drawer. It actually comes all the way out. Instapot goes in here, as well as some other just odds and ends areas and kitchen items. Under here is our toilet, and it's a homemade DIY toilet. So my husband has a sense of humor, right?
Yep.
So this is a diverting toilet. We were going to go with a composting toilet, and then decided that it was just too expensive to get into that. So this one here has the a regular toilet seat on it, but what happens is it gets diverted. So the pee goes in the front, and then we have an area in the back. We try not to use that too much, but in the necessity where we have to use it, which we have a few times, it works out really great. We're just able to get rid of it, throw it away, and it works perfectly. So that's our toilet, and that's a fraction of the cost to a composting one. That cost you what, about $300 to make, Rob?
Yeah, about 300, yeah, compared to 1,200.
Yeah. So here we've got, this was pretty unique. So underneath here, we actually have the water tank at the very bottom. And this area here above that is the space that my husband puts his guitar. So the guitar fits all the way back, all the way to through the back here. So there's lots of space and actually a little bit of additional storage there. This drawer here, because this is all built on top of the water tank, there's a ton of storage space. So this is our pantry. How deep is this drawer, Rob?
28 or 32.
It's long. It's about, I think it's 31 inches is what it ended up being, but it's a very long drawer. We've got everything organized in containers. We can bring them out. So lots of space for all sorts of food in here, different totes, but it holds all of our pantry items perfectly. So back this way is our bed. It is a queen size bed. We had to cut off, I think we ended up cutting about 8 inches off the bottom in total. So this bed here is a 7-inch from IKEA. Works really, really great. We find it super comfy. Above our bed area here, we didn't want full cupboards again. We wanted to have a bit more space for sleeping, to feel like it wasn't claustrophobic. We've got a nice little spot here. We've got a couple little containers. We can put our phones and earplugs or anything we might want, as well as our Kleenex up in that area. And then night lights, independent night lights for us as well. In the back area, we have the same thermal curtains that we have at the front area. We find they work perfectly for blackout as well as for warmth from the back. And anything else you want me to explain for back here, Rob, or you want to move on to your stuff?
No, just tell them how we can't wake up in the morning because it's so comfortable.
It's really comfy. Oh, I forgot to show one more thing. So how we get in and out of bed is
how she gets in and out of bed.
You still use it too, Rob. So we got a little bench here. It's also a great spot. We put other items in other storage area in here, but it's a spot to get in and out of the bed. So we're able to access this way and be able to get in and out of our bed. And look, I can sit up and not hit my head.
So here we are. Okay, the first, probably one of the more important things is this panel right here. If you can see it, it's nice and shiny because that was the cutout for the sliding window. And what you do is you push it over. Oh, simple, and it pulls out. And if you look in here, what it is, it's all rare earth magnets and things of sorts. In here is where the filter, the water filter goes for the filtration system, and the diesel fill up, and different shutoffs for the sinks. And that we have that winterized right now because we had problems when we were coming back. It froze because I got a few, you always got things you're working on, eh? So
we didn't plan to camp in minus 32 weather.
Yeah, it was
either.
minus 32 with the wind chill, for God's sakes. So anyway, yeah, this just goes back in here, and we'll have to fill it tonight. But anyway, yeah, so that's kind of a mechanical area. In here is just your typical gray water catch-all, and there's the lagoon tabletop that my wife mentioned earlier, and it's got the RV P-trap in it and things of that nature, and yeah, so that's that unit. Now, as we go in, right here, she did mention this switch that I put in, and yeah, that was a 6-hour job because I had to, because of the square profile, and I didn't have my tools, and I don't know that I'd really want to do it with a router because this is much tighter. Anyway, I did that with an X-Acto knife. 6 hours to do that, and as she mentioned, the lagoon, or not the lagoon, the waterfall countertop. This whole build was around, you can see in there what I just slid the guitar off of, and what that is, it's a 52-gallon water tank, and it goes right down the center. It's between the wheel wells at the lowest possible position because it's in the neighborhood of 500 pounds when it's full. And the second consideration was I wanted to bring my guitar. So that is what this area is for. Then it slides right in on top of this water tank, and that's where it lives. So I'm going to have to be, one consideration is when I fill up the water tank, I'm going to have to be conscious of whether or not it will sweat, because I don't want to add any moisture to that area and have the guitar in there. So just something I have to watch. The lights, when they were put in on that switch, the other thing that we did was over the bed on my side, in case Janet is up later than I am, is I've got a switch here, and you'll probably see it go off here. So it kills the one light. And on both of the ends of the bed, there are USB charge points. I also have on my side, I've got a 400 watt pure sine wave inverter because I snore, and I have to use a CPAP. So that is put in there to just facilitate that one unit. Underneath, I have a 3000 watt inverter, and we only want to turn that on when it's time for cooking. The water tank has uprights here, and the slots for the bed go to all the way across, but they divide right here. And you can see, if you go underneath, right here, that gives me, that gives me access to all the solar. And I'll show it from the other end. Everything is under here. So anyway, that's the access, and there's 2 panels right to the back. So this mattress can be lifted up, supported on here, and you have clear access to anything that you need underneath there. Because from the back, you'd have to be pretty creative to get into it, and we will show that in a little bit here. Okay, now to the back of the van. As you can see here, we have a hot water heater, a gas one, that'll be for, well, summer use. And in the back is just a typical, things that you'd store back here, different compartments. This is the water tank that I was mentioning that we put in, and all the little components to it. We had a fun time doing that. And basically, this is just the garage. It's where you throw stuff. The only thing that is a little bit different is, I'll take these components out, turn this on. What we do have back here, okay, the inverter's just turning on. Just wait for it to stop beeping. We have an onboard compressor, and here is where you do the hookup. And this receptacle is for an electric impact gun. So if you have to do any work on the tires or wheels or whatever, if you air down, you can air up, and doing things of that nature. So anyway, as I mentioned earlier, this is where all of the electrical components are, where they are. And we have a light here that turns it on. And I don't know if Janet can get in there and show some of the components. But this was really an exercise in MacGyvering. Man, we had to stuff this stuff in, and all the water system that goes in, and then propane detector, and we've got fire detectors, carbon monoxide, all the different things that make it a little safer, and all the shut-offs for different things. The batteries, this one's for the solar panels, have 660 watts of solar panels, 400 amp hours of lithium batteries, 3000 watt inverter charger, a 40 amp DC to DC charger for the alternator, and then we have shore power out, so a 15 amp. We didn't put the larger ones. There's a 30 or 35 and a 50, because it's not like when we're plugged in we're trying to run an air conditioner and fridge. So anyway, this is the system back here, and it seems to be working for us so far. Well, anyway, off we go.